If you want to start living below your means so that you can save money for something that you really want, here are 4 practical tips to do just that. Number 1 is focus on buying your freedom instead of buying things. I don't know about you, but I would much prefer the luxury of time as I get older, especially. You guys, this crushes me sometimes that I didn't know the things that I know now earlier. If I would have known earlier what I know now, like in my teens, my 20s, my 30s, my whole life would look a lot different because I would have spent differently knowing what I know now. Have you guys heard of the FIRE movement? Financial independence, retire early. That community sparks so much joy in me. One of the most popular ones is Mr. Money Mustache that retired very early, I think around 30, because he had a plan. He knew what to do, and I did not know what to do. And I'm still learning, obviously. And if I would have focused on my freedom instead of buying pointless, useless things, life would be so different. The luxury of time is so precious and priceless now. I'm in my 40s now, and I think about even just like time off. Most people with like a full-time job, right? You get like 2, maybe 3 weeks off. You like work yourself to the bone all year. And even if you have a sick day, you feel really guilty taking a sick day. And even on your vacation, I really try to just focus on what I'm doing, but that's been a learning curve too, like leaving work behind, enjoying yourself, compartmentalizing what you're doing, being present. Um, and if I would have known back then what I know now, I would have been 100% into the FIRE movement. A lot of people that focus on FIRE, they try to save like 50 to 75% of their income. And back in my 20s, I did a good job. Don't get me wrong, I did a good job, but I had student loan debt to pay, but I was making some smart moves, but that wasn't even knowing the things that I know now, especially about investing. I tell you this all the time. My biggest regret, not investing earlier. If you don't have a Roth IRA yet, you don't contribute to 401k, 403b, a brokerage account, like these things can really compound and work on wanting your freedom more than wanting something in your closet. Now, this is going to be different for everyone, right? Because some people really love fancy clothes and fancy shoes and fancy cars and all the things. But for me, I would rather earn as much as I can, spend as little as I can so that I can have that freedom to do what I want with my time. Especially having like my son, I always am wishing I didn't have to work so hard now to like make it happen, you know? When you're thinking about should I spend on this and you know what, think about what do you want more? Freedom or that shirt. Just think about that. Or going out to eat all the time or retiring a little early. There's a lot of, give and take there, obviously, but focus on your freedom. Focus on spending your time and energy on attaining that freedom instead of things. If you're watching this and you want to focus on freedom, type in the comments, focus. Let's keep our eyes on the prize. Focus on the freedom, not on the things. Number 2, if you want to live below your means, you've got to love what you do have instead of wanting what you don't have. Sure, I love some new things once in a while. Of course I do. I like to emphasize these things on my birthday, Christmas. But the normal mindset for me on the daily is I rely on and rejoice in what I currently have. This will help you reduce impulse spending and center yourself as a person that already has a lot. You already have what you need. This is something, it's a mindset you've got to get into, right? Love what you have. all the details. Look at these dishes I have. I've got plates to put my food on. Oh, I have food. I have so much to eat. There's plenty to eat. Oh, look at this beautiful roof over my head. Oh, I have a home I can raise my son in. There's just so much to be grateful for and content with. Here's a little something that I heard that I hope is helpful. What I try to focus on, like emotionally, okay, is the feeling that you have when you have had a really good meal. Think about that feeling. You had whatever it is that really tastes amazing. You had your fill of it, and you feel like you couldn't possibly have another bite, but you are comfortably full. Like it's perfect. You feel so content, so happy. You know that feeling, right? Try to fill your heart with that feeling at all times or most times so that you're not always in a state of want. Instead, you are content. You are happy. You got not a full belly, but a full heart so that you don't need all the things. It's just something to consider. Have you ever thought of it that way? You know that feeling, right? Content, full. You don't need a thing. Try to like get that mindset sometime, fill your heart with the fullness and be focused on all the amazing things in your life, people and your health and just anything that you have that's going on positively instead of always being in a constant state of want. This is going to help you stay living below your means because you're not always trying to spend. You're not always trying to fill the gap. You know, there's no gap to fill. You've got it. You're full. You're happy. You're content. You don't need any more of that stuff. Number 3, invest in good quality items so you don't have to keep buying the same kind of item over and over again to get the results that you want. Cheap and frugal, in my opinion, are two totally different things. Frugal is getting the most value, and cheap is just directly related to cost. You want the cheapest, you want to spend the least. It's not the same. And frugal people, I do think, for the most part, know this distinction and get in the habit of purchasing quality items so that we don't have to buy the same thing a couple months later and be like, oh, I should have bought the more expensive one this time, but I just, was trying to save $1. It's very important to buy quality things. And that also will kind of make you happy to use the things you have when you have a quality item. I'm going to give you 2 examples of things that I really like to spend the money on because, and they're kind of simple examples, but sneakers. I don't get sneakers often, but the ones that I love are Skechers. Skechers slide-ons for women. Those are the best. I don't have to tie them. They're comfortable. They last me a long time. I'm on my 3rd pair and I just love them. That's over multiple years. Ooh, excuse me. Little bug came to visit. And they're amazing. I'll leave a link down below of the sneakers that I get in case you're looking for sneakers that are quality and just comfortable and go like a long ways. And the other thing, it's also related to your feet, are slippers, especially with the seasons changing. I'll leave you my favorite slippers down in the description. These are my favorite, and they have been. They're called Mucklucks, and it's the Lee edition, Leigh. And I don't know if it's because that's my middle name that I'm just like attracted to it, but no, they're so comfortable. They keep my toes warm when I'm walking around the house. I look forward to putting them on. I don't need any other slippers. I just need the one pair, and they're perfect. So focus on getting quality instead of the cheap version of something, because then it probably is not going to last as long and have to buy it again. No, thank you. Number 4, empower yourself with these 2 funds, okay? A budget buffer and an emergency fund. Let's start with the budget buffer. The budget buffer is going to help you stay living below your means because it is exactly that. It's a buffer between you and overdraft. It's a buffer between you and lack of planning. Now you guys know I'm a budgetnista, if you will. Like, I love to budget. Not only do I love it, I'm good at it, and I do it every single month, and it's reliable because I've become accustomed to doing it. It's been a habit of mine, and it's very effective, right? So the thing that you can do is get a budget buffer, which is a month of expenses sitting in your checking at all times. All times. This solves so many problems because sometimes people overspend by accident. Not usually me, but it's happened. You guys know it's happened once in a while. And also, people that have like irregular income, people that get paid, they can't figure out, well, I get paid on the 1st, I get paid on the 15th, I get, this kind of eliminates the stress of that because no matter what, you've got $3,000, $2,000, whatever your monthly expenses, I don't know what they are. I could be way off there, but it's just sitting in your checking. It's not doing anything, it's protecting you. It's not like so much money that you're really losing out, but it's also like a safety net, and it's going to cover your behind if you make an error. Now, that's in your checking at all times. You can start with your budget buffer, build that up, and then, go from there. But the emergency fund, eventually you want to save 3 to 6 months expenses in a high yield savings account. So that money that is sitting there is making money. And I really, really think that emergency fund has saved my my money confidence. Like, that I have it, I feel more safe, I feel more secure, and I know that if something happens, I can pull from that. Now, I don't touch that unless it's a true emergency. Not just like I feel like shopping. You want to save that money in a high yield savings account separate from your checking, that is in case it goes down, in case you lose your job, in case you have a medical emergency. Like, you've got it. The budget buffer, just chilling in your checking, just ready for you. Hey, here I am. That's also, just so you know, for me, it's kind of a double as a sinking fund that I'm always looking to replace. So say if my tire blew, you could pull from emergency fund, but I'm probably going to do it from the budget buffer. The budget buffer can be used for whatever you need. It's to buff. It's to buff. It's kind of also, like I said, like my own sinking fund, but I just look to replace that. That's always going to be at, say it's $3,000. I'm always looking to refill that to $3,000. So it's always sitting there. All right, K Squad, it's your turn. Let me know in the comments, what's a practical tip that helps you stay living below your means, so we can read through the comments and get even more ideas. Okay, so lastly, before you head out of here, you probably noticed I have a microphone here. I tried clipping it, and it was kind of crunching when I was playing it back, and I didn't want you to have it crunching the whole time. But can you guys hear me a little bit better? I had just a couple comments lately asking me to get a mic because they wanted to hear me better. But I also have some people saying, Kate, stop yelling. You're so loud. Like, turn it down. So just let me know. How was the audio? Could you hear me well? I'm just wondering. Let me know in the comments. Is it better? Is it fine? Let me know. Love you guys. If you love this video, I've got 2 more videos that you are going to love. I'm going to leave one here, choose your own adventure, both talking about living below your means, practical tips that are going to be so helpful. I'll see you in the next video. Thanks for watching, guys. See you next time.